with Pac-12 play coming, obviously the West Coast teams are starting to battle. Does this where things kind of start to get really kind of important and interesting for you guys in that regard?
Well, I think for us, from a recruiting standpoint, is maximizing your opportunities. We don't have a traditional bye this season, so when we have these days like we have, kind of today and tomorrow, and then following the Stanford game next week, is just making sure that we're utilizing our days, because we don't have the traditional bye where we can have really almost a week on the road. So it's just a matter of being efficient with our time.
Is everybody, so what you can send out, kind of, and I know there's rules on that, so I mean you can send out this, you send it out as many
You
as
get
you can.
one weekend basically where you can send your entire staff, so that's what we have here for 2 days. Our entire staff will be on the road recruiting. So we're just trying to maximize our time and that we get to be out and spread our wings and get to the places that are necessary to get to.
How much of it is going out there and seeing guys that you're recruiting really heavily that maybe haven't made decisions, and ones that you're maybe maintaining commitments on?
Well, it's both. It's both, and there's obviously that's the fine line, and that's why we have to be so well organized with our time spent and where we're spending it, and who we're seeing and when we're seeing them. But you're exactly right. Our ability to get to the guys that are committed, but also get to some of the players that we're still evaluating, and then also get into the players that we know we'd like to have on our roster but haven't made a decision yet.
Do you get a little spun around sometimes, wondering where you are?
There's a good amount of meat on the bone here for 2 days of what we're going to be doing recruiting, but I love it. It's our livelihood, and love being out. I don't get to go out and spring recruit, and so when we get these times now, I want to hit it as hard as fast as we can, and so that's why we're on a plane here real quickly.
I know that you'll hear more about it, obviously in the next couple of days. But what has the perception been? What's the feedback been of the Washington brand right now?
I think it's been great. I think people have really responded to what we've done the previous few seasons as a team. I think they've really responded to our coaching staff and the style of play in which we do things. I think they've responded to some of our players and the players on our current roster. I think that's been great too, of the kids from whatever area that they've come from and the contributions they've made to our football team. I think has had a real direct impact on recruiting for us.
Is it a trade secret where you're heading out?
No, it's not. We're for the most, myself, I'll be in Southern California, but we've got guys all over. So. In this day and age, there aren't really any secrets of where guys go anymore. And we're gonna have guys all over, from San Diego all the way through to all the way through to Washington, up and down the West Coast and into Arizona, and some guys in Texas. So we've got guys all over the place.
So with the SoCal trip, do you get to fit in some family time
in
there as well?
No, my mom would probably like me to, but no. This is a business trip.
Did you get out of these couple days what you wanted to, and then heading into that?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought we got some good early game plan stuff for Stanford. I thought that we addressed some issues that needed to be addressed. We did some good situational work, especially today. We even repped the last second field goal today and iced the kicker, and Coons made a 42-yarder, which was great, and the guys all celebrated. So got a lot of that stuff done that these types of weeks can be. Tinkered with a couple different position things, the guys bouncing around, so that was good too. And at the end of the day, I think our health was good. We got guys back, and we didn't lose anybody more. And I'm expecting us, when we come back Saturday afternoon, to have a really energetic, upbeat team, and one that's ready to start Pac-12 play.
Are you feeling more the offensive line? Are you feeling more confident with some of the guys who had to play a lot Saturday? If they going against, obviously Stanford's going to be a different kind of challenge.
It's a great task going against Stanford. I'll feel better probably into next week as the challenges from going from a 4-3 team to a 3-4 team. It took a few days for us to really get back to some of the fundamentals of playing that style of defense, the two-gapping defense, the zone blitz stuff out of that. So we taxed them really pretty good here this week on that stuff mentally, intentionally, to come back Saturday, Sunday, Monday, where they can be more confident with the looks that they're getting.
I know it sounds like with Stanford and the physical brand of ball they play, a lot of people would compare them to LSU in terms of teams that you've played. And But is there a difference in how they approach things? And
Oh, much different, much different. I think that where LSU is a bit more traditional in their personnel groupings on offense, Stanford is they really believe in playing their big guys, and whether they're in their jumbo sets or splitting out their tight ends and using their tight ends as wide receivers, much different that way. The team speed LSU possessed was a bit different than probably anybody we'll see here, maybe outside of Oregon and SC that way, that this the amount of speed they had on the field. And then LSU's uniqueness to play four tailbacks, where Stanford relies on the one kid for the most part, Stephon Taylor. So different that way. Probably from a belief standpoint, they're similar in that they're believing running the football and that running the football and playing defense is their way of winning. But then the style in which they do it is much different.
it seems like their offense gets the pub because of guys like Luck and the kind of offense that they run. But it sure looks like their defense is something to be reckoned with too.
I would classify them right now as a defensive football team. And there's nothing wrong with that. And in our conference, I think that's how you win. And that's what our commitment to the defense right now is what it is. I would, you look at the first ball game versus San Jose State as a 24 or 21 or something. I don't remember the exact score. They get after Duke pretty good, but then you beat SC 21-14. I mean, they're playing good defensive football. They're taking care of the football on offense. They're running the ball, and then they're making their plays when they need to. The long run against SC, the long pass there in the fourth quarter to Ertz for the touchdown. So, but I think for them right now, it's starting on defense, and that's a great way to play.
You've talked a few times about the need to have a third receiver kind of emerge. Is anybody maybe in this last week or from the game Saturday kind of really step forward?
Well, I think for right now it's going to be kind of a third guy by committee. We saw 2 weeks ago what Kevin Smith did. He had a couple good big plays for us. Saw last week DeAndre Campbell do his thing with a couple catches there. Jadon Mickens unfortunately had a big play called back for a holding penalty, but I think he has some of that stuff. I think we'll see more of Cody Bruns, and I think we'll see more of Marvin Hall. So we've got guys there that there's going to be games when one of them has 3, 4, 5 catches, and the next week it could be somebody different. But I like the group of guys that we have available to us now.
Do you, over the course of this week, I mean, you mentioned on Monday how the seriousness of the Monday meeting and how you felt like there might be a bit of a change in how these guys are approaching things. Has this week kind of gone to form that way?
Oh, really? Yeah, it really has. Sometimes you get into these types of bye weeks and guys might not understand the importance of these practices, and they're just kind of letting the week go by and hopeful that the young guys get their opportunities and give them these guys wanted to practice. They wanted their reps. They wanted the service periods in preparation of Stanford. So that part definitely has changed, and they wanted to fix some of the things within their own game to make them better. So I was pleased with that for sure.
And Travell Dixon, first day in pads, did he get his feet wet at all?
Yeah, he did. He got in there in some of the 7-on-7 stuff, and you see the natural ability. Obviously, he doesn't know the defense enough to really compete to where he's ultimately comfortable, but I think you see the skill set that he has that enables him to be a good player.